Yeah, we're here. Okay. All right, guys, this is just the next lesson. And actually, I think this lesson, it has one extra component, but it's very similar to yesterday. Very similar. You're going to have some problems in the workbook, and then also there's 3 other problems on Emoto that are similar to these example problems. Okay, so here's the deal. Remember, here is our slope formula. All that you're going to have to do for these problems is find the slope. You do not have to find the equation. Okay, that's what we did last night. We had to find the equation all the way through, but here we're just finding the slope. Because there's one added difficulty to it. The one difficulty is now we're going to find the slope over an interval, over our x values. Remember, this isn't an ordered pair. These are the x values, the lower limit and the upper limit. One way to think about this is to think about it as time. So we're finding the interval, we're finding, the slope between the time of 1 and the time of 5. So you can see here, if we're talking about these x values being time, we're trying to find the slope between the time of 1 and the time of 5. If you're confused about the domain, I'm going to say it one more time. You're going to find it, the domain tells us, we're going to think of it as time. So between 1 second and 5 seconds, what is the slope? So you're going to go about it, making your dashed lines at the lower and upper limit. Here's our lower, here's our upper. And what that tells you is, it tells you that I'm interested to see what the slope is between 1 and 5, so I have to go up, and where it crosses at 1, I'm finding the slope from this point to where it crosses at 5. So you see here, the only thing we have missing to find that actual slope is to find what are the y values at those x values. Then we can plug it back in here and actually find the slope. That's all we have to do. Okay. There's going to be a couple problems on your homework that in the workbook actually that have situations like this. If you didn't copy it, just follow me with your attention here. So we have this problem. We have to find the average rate of change, our m value, our slope, between 100 and 300. Okay. What am I going to do first? I'm going to make my dashed lines. Make my dashed lines at the lower limit, 100. And 300. And then remember, those are my times. So after 100 seconds to 300 seconds, I'm trying to find that slope. So I'm looking between this point and that point. Okay? So for the graphs, they're going to ask you to approximate about what is that y value there. Okay, so looking at it, this is at 100. And then what for y, this is at 300, and what for y. I want you to tell your neighbor what you think the y values are based on, where they are on the graph. Can you read it? Antonio, what do you think? What's the y value for this? 1. Yeah. You guys say about 1. 0.8, 0.91. Okay. It is a little bit below that. I'm going to make it so it is 1. Let's see. Vanessa, what do you guys say for the y value at x is 300? About 3. You guys agree? Okay. So the first problems from the workbook are asking you to just look at the graph and analyze that. So now, from here on out, same thing. Just finding the slope, no equation. X sub 1, y sub 1. X sub 2, y sub 2. Let's do it. 3 minus 1 over 300 minus 100. Yeah. So slope is 2 over 200. So my slope is 1 over 100. Done. Can we do it from the graph pretty quick? We can do it from the graph pretty quick. You guys agree? That was not so bad over there, huh? Okay. So those are the problems you're going to see in the workbook. Now, the rest of the problem that we're going to do and finishing this out and do an example, this is the 3 problems that I gave you on Emoto. So they're just written out there. It says, here's your equation. Here are the domain restrictions for it. So for these type problems that you'll see on Emoto, you're given the equation. You're given the equation. We already knew that at 1 is my lower limit, so I'm looking between that point and at 5, when time is 5, I'm looking here. So I have 1, and I have 5, because those are my x values. Okay. So essentially, this is what we have. We know that we're finding the point at the boundary of the domain. We're trying to find what point this is. I need my x and my y for it. Right now, I just have my x. I just have my x values. Because this is not a ordered pair. This is, the lower limit is 1, the upper limit is 5, so we're talking about between those 2 time parameters. Okay. Now, with this, if I know an x value, how do I find my y value if I'm given the equation? Solve. So we're going to go ahead and plug in. We're going to plug in 2 times 1 plus 2. 2 plus 2, 4. So I just figured out that this is at 4, 1, 4. Is that okay? We plug it in. We know the x values. We plug it in to get the y values. Let's do this one as well. Y is equal to 2 times 5 plus 2. Y is equal to 12. Cool. Essentially, now we have our 2 points. We know we have 1, 4. We have 5, 12. And that's exactly what we had here. And we just, we worked it out. We found the slope when we were done. That's all that we have to do. So let's plug them in. 12 and 4, 5 and 1, 8, 4, m is 2. Done. That's our answer. Done. That's it. Okay. So we're finding it from the domain. We take the lower limit and the upper limits. We find the points from it by plugging in. We use the points to find the slope, and that's it. Okay. So there was a lot of explanation, a little bit of a pause. I want to do this one like just start to finish. I want you to follow with me. I'm going to call out what we should do each point. First question. What is my lower limit?
0.
Lower is 0. Lower. These are all of our x values. Our time from 0 to what? What's my upper? 3. Upper. So I know that essentially I'm looking for 0 something. I'm looking for 3 something. I have my x and my y here. How should I find my y right here? What should I do? Plug it. We're going to plug it. So we take y is equal to 0 plus 1. I just plugged in 0 for x. You're going to be given the equation in these cases. I plugged in 0 for x. Y is? So I just found my x sub 1, my y sub 1. Now I have a 3, which was my upper limit for my domain, my x values. So I'm going to go and plug that in. 3 plus 1, y is 4. Slope formula, and we're done. Let's see, we had x sub 2, y sub 2 over here. So x sub 2, y sub 2. I have enough information now. We're going to go 4, y sub 2 minus 1, y sub 1. Then I do the x's on the bottom. X sub 2 and 0. What does that give us? What do you think? Yeah. So we end up with 3 on the top, 3 on the bottom. So our slope is 1. That's how quick the problems are going to go, I hope. Okay. Crux? What's the crux? You good? Thumbs up, sideways, down? Everyone's just a little tired, huh? That's fine. You have a long week. Okay. Can anybody see the crux? I have an idea of what it might be. I think the crux might be, okay, confusing a domain restriction, a domain, with ordered pairs, okay? So this is an x and y. This is the lower limit and upper limit for x. So we're going to plug in the x values to find the corresponding y values. So just be careful with the brackets, with that notation. And we're going to Not unsubscribe. Do not unsubscribe. My numbers are going all over the place. So, I don't know. What should we say? Happy Tuesday? What should we say? Nothing? It's not that day? That's fine. All right. Don't forget to subscribe. Oh, I ate the Kit Kat because nobody is adding. So, I will buy another Kit Kat someday. It's going to take me, to get 29 people, it's going to take me till like spring break. So I had to eat it. It's going to get stale. All right, get your Kit Kat. I only have 19 more. Yeah. All right. Maybe I'll make it, I'm just going to pick a certain day. Between now and Thanksgiving. That's it. I'm going to pick a day from now to Thanksgiving. I'm going to do a random number generator. And the last person that signed up on that day is going to get the Kit Kat. Okay, so it's going to be sometime between next Monday and Thanksgiving break. I'm going to pick a day, so you can join at any time between there. There's no reason to unsubscribe then. Well, there could still be a reason. You guys would figure out how to do that, wouldn't you? All right, don't unsubscribe, please. Just subscribe. All right, thanks.